Hey friends, welcome back to She's At It Again. My name is Tanya. We just walked in from church and I got to get some lunch ready. I have some Senate bean soup in the slow cooker, but I need to make some cornbread. I am out of cornmeal, and I knew I was out of cornmeal, but I have masa. And if you've ever used masa to make corn tortillas, did you know you could also make cornbread out of it? It's not only delicious, it's so much smoother than regular cornmeal, and it's a lot easier for your gut to digest. So let's go over to the island over there. We're going to make some cornbread out of some stone ground masa. Okay, the first thing I want to do is put my skillet. I have uncured bacon grease right there. I put a blob of it in there. I'm going to put that in the oven. And I have my oven preheating to 450 degrees. So we're going to have a smoking hot oven. You got to make sure that skillet's hot. You got to make sure your oven's hot. We don't want to get our grease like too smoking hot or it will start smoking in the kitchen. So I have a cup of masa measured out here. I did a short little clip this morning before we left for church, just showing you what the brand was and all. This is smooth, not like, it's not grainy like cornmeal. It just barely has a texture to it. Very, very fine. So 1 cup of organic masa. We're going to use half a cup of just organic plain flour. A teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, because we're going to add buttermilk to it and it's going to react to this soda and bubble up and it's going to make it light and fluffy. Plus you have that good buttermilk flavor too. 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. And I usually use just a pinch of red pepper. Not everybody does this, but I just like that flavor that cayenne pepper gives it. So just a little tiny bit of red pepper. All right, let me get a spatula. Gonna give that a little stir. Set that aside. In this measuring cup, I have to cover everything up before I leave, you know, just in case, I don't know, something falls in it. So I have a 1/4 cup of really good quality olive oil. I'm going to give it a little squirty squirt of just plain old honey. And depending on how sweet you like it, so I'm not really giving a measurement of honey. I'd say I'm probably putting, I don't know, maybe 1.5 tablespoons in there, but that could be completely wrong. I just don't know. All right, see how much we have in there? And I'm going to add about 1 3/4 cups of buttermilk, because for a regular recipe, I would use about 1.5 cups of buttermilk if it was cornmeal. But this hydrates so quickly, it gets a lot thicker than what cornmeal does. So with cornmeal, you've got your cornmeal and your liquid, and it kind of incorporates in there, but this, as soon as this liquid hits the masa, it just kind of sucks it up like a sponge. So you want to make sure you give it plenty of liquid. And this is our buttermilk that we're using. This is the good stuff, and I get this at Good Measure. It's the only place I know of that sells it, but it's fabulous. All right, so about 1 3/4 cups. So olive oil and buttermilk and honey in there. Give that a stir. And in this, I'm going to break this egg. It's a pretty big egg. All right, so we'll take our liquid and add to our dry mixture. So because masa is so fine and it hydrates really well, part of that just makes it just easy to cook with. It's just a really nice texture. It makes the cornbread so smooth. It's not quite as chunky, if you will. That's not really the right word. Coarse as using stone ground, just plain cornmeal. But because masa is nixtamalized, or the corn has been soaked in a lye solution, it makes it easier for your gut to digest it. So if you have someone who just has issues with corn products and cornmeal, you might give corn masa a try. It might make a difference in whether or not they could have corn products or not, because some say it's just easy enough to digest that they can handle it. All right, put all our liquid ingredients in there together. Give this a stir. If you've ever made corn tortillas, and when you put the liquid in the masa mixture, that just smell of fresh corn hits you right in the face, and it just smells delightful. And that's what this is like. So that's the difference in using regular cornmeal, which I have nothing against. I've used cornmeal my whole life, but when I started using masa every once in a while to make cornbread, wow, it really does make a big difference. The flavor is just phenomenal. And I know I couldn't very well come on here and say, hey, if you don't have cornmeal, you can always use masa, because you're probably thinking, well, if I don't have cornmeal, I sure am not going to have masa. But sometimes if you make corn tortillas like I do often enough, then you have masa hanging around. And I usually store mine in the refrigerator. All right, let's take this out if our skillet is hot enough. Just kind of roll that around in there. My oven hasn't quite preheated yet, but I'm kind of in a hurry, so we're going to get the show going. So you can see how thick this is. This is about like a pancake batter. My daughter does not like cornbread. She just says she doesn't like it. But I can use the same cornbread batter and make waffles out of it to put beans or anything like that on, or chili, and she loves it. So go figure, just the shape of something can turn people into a fan of cornbread. All right, we're going to pop this in the oven. The oven should be almost preheated by now. And we're going to cook that for about 18 minutes, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. So we'll be right back. Okay, our cornbread's been in there for about 18 minutes, and I'm going to get it out. Ooh, that is smoking hot. Okay, that's what she looks like. I'm going to let this cool off just a bit before I cut it, but I'll show you what the inside looks like, and it smells so incredibly good. I know I say that about a lot of things, but it really does. Okay, hey guys, thanks for watching, and I will put the recipe in the description. As always, go out and get you a bag of masa. I don't remember, I think I messed up ordered this off Amazon, because it's a little hard to find in our town, the organic masa. But get yourself some masa, make some corn tortillas, and know that you can make cornbread out of it too. So, yeah, it's definitely the goods. Okay, thanks for watching. We look forward to sharing something again with you real soon. Stay tuned. I'll show you a picture when I cut it to the inside. Slather some butter on that. It's going to be so good. See ya.